You've felt it, maybe in the quiet moments before sleep, or when you see someone living fully, freely. It stings, doesn't it? That ache, that tension between the life you're living and the life you sense you're meant for. There's a quiet truth behind that feeling. The person you've worked so hard to become, the roles you play, the stability you've built may also be what's holding you back. Transformation isn't just about adding something new. It's about letting something old go. Often, it's about letting it die. The people you admire most, the ones who live boldly or with soul-deep clarity, they didn't get there by clinging to who they were. They let go. They surrendered the past version of themselves so the real one could rise. Nature shows us this constantly. The caterpillar doesn't just grow wings. It melts down into nothing first. Seeds split open before anything grows. Snakes shed skin or suffocate. Change demands release, and yet we resist. You might still be holding on to pieces of who you used to be, wondering why real change feels out of reach. The truth is, most of us are stuck, not because of life's limits, but because of our own comfort zones. Each morning, you repeat habits that no longer light you up. You smile through conversations that feel shallow. You perform well at things that don't touch your deeper gifts. You stay in connections where you're seen as someone you no longer are. But the real betrayal isn't what others do to you. It's what happens when you ignore your own inner voice, when you push down that quiet knowing that you were made for more. Remember when you were younger, before the world taught you to shrink. That wild, untamed version of you is still alive somewhere under the layers of obligation and practicality. You've gotten so good at taking care of others that you've forgotten how to care for your own soul. You've become the one who holds it together, but in doing so, you've slowly vanished. When was the last time you looked in the mirror and recognized yourself? Not your face, but your fire. Who benefits from you staying small? Who feels threatened when you grow? And when did their comfort become more important than your growth? If you feel this tension, this pain of living a divided life, you're not alone. Mythologist Joseph Campbell called it the hero's journey, but what he only hinted at is the emotional cost. Before becoming the hero, the old self must die. In ancient cultures, this truth was honored through initiation rituals, rites of passage, where young people were symbolically killed and reborn. The goal wasn't punishment, it was transformation. Nietzsche wrote about this too. First, we carry the weight of society's expectations like a camel. Then we become a lion that tears them apart. But even that's not the end. We must become a child again, open to new creation. But here's what most self-help skips. Transformation isn't gentle. It's not about upgrading your life while keeping all the same pieces. It's not tidy. It's often painful. It means letting go of relationships that no longer align. It means leaving behind career paths, old roles, and outdated dreams. It might mean becoming unrecognizable to people who once knew you well. Before you can become something new, you have to let go of who you were. Every major spiritual path reminds us of this. Jesus spoke of dying to self. Buddha left his palace. Moses fled his old identity. They didn't just change, they let go. But modern life sells a lie, that you can change while staying the same, that you can become someone new without giving anything up, that you can grow without grief. You can't. The caterpillar doesn't keep parts of itself. It dissolves completely. Then something new forms from that liquid mess. Inside you is a voice trying to stop this process. It says, don't make waves. Don't risk losing people. Think about your image. But that voice is scared. It wants to protect the story of who you've been, not the truth of who you are. Ask yourself, who decided who you should be? What parts of your identity were shaped by survival, not desire? That scared voice doesn't tell you the cost of staying the same. It says change is betrayal. But staying stuck is the real betrayal of your truth, your gifts, your future. Think of Cortez burning his ship so there was no going back. That wasn't reckless. It was clarity. He knew that without full commitment, the past would always pull you back. Think of Cortez burning his ship so there was no going back. That wasn't reckless. It was clarity. He knew that without full commitment, the past would always pull you back. So what ships are you keeping? Old identities, friendships built on a version of you that's long gone, career plans made by someone you no longer are. Burning the ships means letting the past version of you die. That's why this feels like grief, because it is. But grief doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing it right. In the middle of change, you'll miss your old self, not because it was better, but because it was known. The rules were clear, the roles were safe. This space in between, it's uncomfortable, unclear. For a while, you'll feel like you're nothing at all. But this nothing is where everything starts. You're not afraid of change. You're afraid of disappearing, of not knowing who you are without your titles. The achiever, the caregiver, the peacemaker. But those are just roles, not your essence. You are not your identity. You are the one behind it, the writer of the story, not the character. Ask yourself, what parts of you did you hide just to fit in? What dreams did you bury to be accepted? You must abandon who you are to become who you really are. The people who create great lives leave old selves behind, not because they hate those parts, but because they outgrew them. If a snake doesn't shed its skin, it dies. And so do we, in a spiritual sense, when we stop evolving. No one has the right to expect you to stay the same. And protecting their comfort by hiding your truth, that's not kindness, that's loss. Every day you choose comfort over becoming, you slowly fade. But the discomfort of becoming, it ends. The pain of not becoming, that lingers, that whisper inside you. It's not a warning, it's an invitation. It's the call to rise. When you stop gripping your current identity like a life raft, you realize you already know how to swim. And when that happens, everything begins to shift. The energy you use to hide or maintain a fake version of yourself is now free for creativity, for connection, for meaning. Yes, some people will leave, but those who stay will meet the real you, and new people will come, drawn to your authenticity. The work you do won't just be tasks, it'll be expression. The life you live won't be a performance, it'll be real. And here's the final truth. This journey never really ends. Each new level of growth will ask you to let go again. But the pain gets familiar, and your fear lessens. What once felt like death now feels like freedom. The real sacrifice isn't losing your old self. It's choosing to finally live as the one you've always been. So say it out loud, or write it below. I release who I was. This is the start. This is you lighting the fire, burning the ships, becoming